Hallmark pissed me off. They made a Christmas movie that I was actually excited for, and it's awful. It's simply one of the worst movies they've ever made. And I know Hallmark movies aren't known for being good, but recently they filmed one in Rhode Island, which is where I'm from. And oh my god, this has to be the worst movie they've ever made.
How does one milk an oat?
I made a video last year about a different Hallmark movie, and I'm not exaggerating, they've somehow gotten significantly worse. Hallmark's whole thing was that they made these well-produced, formulaic, simple movies. If you wanted a movie about a businesswoman from the big city who returned to her small town and fell in love with a man who's never left and runs a struggling Christmas tree farm, they had you covered. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but those days are over. And for Hallmark to think they could come into my own backyard and pull a stunt like this? Did you think I wouldn't make a video about how bad it was? Alright, enough yapping out of me, let me show you this monstrosity. The movie is called A Newport Christmas, and it was filmed here in Rhode Island. Kinda, I'll touch more on that later. It's set in 1905, where our main character Ella, who's the daughter of a rich family, has been arranged to marry a man by her father.
At the Christmas ball, we'll announce your engagement.
To whom?
Ella is understandably not stoked about this. Instead, she wants to start her own charity, which is something that rich people used to do to build their legacy before they learned about rockets.
I'll have to respectfully decline. I have decided to forego marriage and instead use my wedding coffers to start a charity.
A charity? You'll do no such thing.
I promise you, a rich man being appalled at the concept of charity is the first and only instance of good writing in this movie. Also, her mom is dead.
Just like Mother would have wanted me to.
Ugh.
I don't know why they always have a single dead parent in these movies, but I swear they always do. Before we continue, this portion of the video is sponsored by Bellesa. Bellesa is a bi-woman company for all things sexual wellness. Their mission is to empower everyone to explore, embrace, and celebrate their own sexuality. Now, you all know how much I love testing sponsor products for videos on this channel. I will not be doing that in this case. But don't worry, because you can test it out yourself, because my friends at Bellesa and I are literally giving away gift cards and toys to everyone who joins my giveaway. And yes, Bellesa offers options for both men and women. They offer products like the Pebble, which is ergonomically built to fit perfectly in your hand. It features independent suction and vibration controls, and comes with a cute charging case. It was heavily emphasized, I need to mention there's also no annoying pattern modes, which is something that means almost nothing to me, but I've been assured is a big deal to some of you. They also have the Air Vibe, which is waterproof and rechargeable. It comes in a discreet casing, but don't let that cute case fool you, because with dual stimulation, this toy packs a punch. So I'm told. The Key Vibe is a small and comfortable underwear attachment made out of smooth silicone designed to spice up your date night. The remote control is designed to be indistinguishable from a car key. Just do not give it to the valet. And for the fellas out there who are, really hearing me out about these women's products, they've got something for you too with the Ultra Blow. This one you also don't want to give to the valet. It has a powerful thrusting and rotating action, which is built to blow your mind. And you can choose from 8 dynamic modes to customize your experience to how you like it. So if you're feeling a little naughty this year, and according to my list, you didn't round up to feed starving children? You can sign up for my giveaway using the link in the description or the pinned comment down below. And thank you to Bellesa for sponsoring this part of the video. While this is happening, we quickly jump ahead to 2025 where we meet the other main character of this movie, Nick, who works for a museum dedicated to Ella's work and owns her old boat.
Nick, Coast Guard received report of a vessel dead in the water under Island Bridge, but all of our boats are already out.
Copy. I can assist. Will you escort these people back to Grafton Estate? Christine will help you from there.
Sure.
Ella, who's still pretty upset with her father, decides to go for a sail and sees a comet, which she makes a wish on.
I wish for a different life. I wish to fall in love.
Now I'm going to pause here. What do you think happens after she makes this wish? Go ahead, think about it, take your time.
Where did you come from?
What is that? She just turns around and he's on the boat? I can't think of how to get the main character from 1905 to 2025. What if she just turned around and he was there? Holy shit, that's a great idea. How'd you come up with that? This is what I mean when I say this movie pissed me off. Every opportunity they had to give less effort, they somehow did. Like when Nick and Ella sail back to Newport, this is the dock they show. First of all, that looks awful. More importantly, if you're gonna use a shitty stock image, maybe don't use the one that has 6 skyscrapers. You're trying to visualize a small town that has obviously 0. But don't worry, because they cut from their green screen dock to what is clearly a completely different dock.
This is not my home.
Back to the movie, Ella, who isn't aware that she has time traveled, is rightfully pretty shocked to discover that Newport has changed completely.
Where am I?
Newport, Rhode Island.
Nonsense. I left Newport an hour ago, and this is not it.
Oh my god. I'm sorry, I promise I'm going to stop pointing out every little detail. But in what world would somebody skateboard on bricks? Nobody stopped this. Nobody on the set saw that and said, that's dumb as fuck. I'm sorry. I'll calm down. Let's continue. Ella is still shocked to discover that Newport is completely different. And Nick, rightfully, is still confused as to what is going on.
Who are you?
I'm Nick. And you are?
Ella Stewart, of course.
Ella Stewart Grafton?
No! Ella Stewart. I think I know my own name.
What year do you think it is?
Shut the hell up. His first guess is time traveler? I already watched this movie. I'm gonna lose my mind again. Eventually, Nick comes to the more logical conclusion that she's either a reenactor or crazy.
Dreamy?
You're an Ella Grafton cosplayer. This is genius.
Who is Ella Grafton cosplayer?
And then they head to her old home, which is now the museum that Nick works at. Nick and his coworkers, Christine and Francis, initially just think, okay, she's crazy.
I spoke with my Uncle Leo at the precinct.
And?
There are no reports of anyone fitting her description. He's gonna check the local hospitals to see if anyone's missing. I wonder who she is.
Which, you know, logical conclusion to come to. But then Ella steals a tour group and they do nothing to stop it? They just kind of let it happen?
In here is the dining room.
She's pretty good, huh?
After giving the tour, Ella tries to leave, which ultimately doesn't really matter for the story. Although for some reason, Christine makes Nick go look after her. Which, like, from Nick's perspective at this point in the movie, this is just a crazy lady who's being mean to him.
While my time here has been grand, I do wish to return home, so I'll have to bid you adieu.
Whoever she is, you have to look out for her.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. Because she doesn't know what she's doing.
But I mention this because up until this point, Nick and Ella have been bickering about who owns the boat. And Nick tries to prove that he owns the boat by mentioning some of the names carved into the mast.
I would never etch anything into my precious mast.
Well, that's my best. You see? There.
I don't see anything.
So not only did she time travel, her boat did too. So like, what happened to Nick's boat? The one he was actively steering. It just disappeared? And before you comment trying to give them a little bit of grace, there's more to this plot hole that I'll talk about later. I swear, the people who worked on this movie just didn't care at all. Speaking of not caring, there's a side plot to this movie which you will almost certainly not care about. It's a budding romance between Nick's coworkers, Christine and Francis, who, despite having absolutely no chemistry, decide to give it a shot anyways.
Put it where?
On the bag.
Over. Oh no.
Wow.
Later that same night, Ella shows them this secret closet that has her diary.
And this is where I would hide my diary.
Actually, your diary's on display in the ballroom.
How'd you do that?
This is the diary, but in this one, the diary entries end at December 17th, 1905.
As it should, because that was the last day I wrote in it. Yesterday.
So this is her original diary, which is an even bigger plot hole than the boat, but again, I will come back to this later. Apparently the book was all the convincing they needed that she wasn't actually crazy and was a time traveler.
And I know it sounds like a crazy person, but I'm starting to think she actually time traveled.
It sounds crazy, but I believe her.
Would you believe that I do too?
I mean, I want to make fun of them for believing her, but I guess like technically they are correct, so. Now this is still a Hallmark movie, so you know the two main characters are obviously gonna fall in love slowly over the course of the movie. Do they have any chemistry? Not really, but that kind of seems to be a theme of this movie.
Anyway, I can promise you, whatever time or age, being human ensures that life will always be complicated.
But beautiful.
How did you know I was going to say that?
It's one of your most famous quotes.
Also, Ella knows nothing about Nick, but Nick is a historian who knows everything about Ella. So he's just obsessed in this parasocial way. Like if Ella was a Twitch streamer, Nick would be a tier 3 sub. Actually, I do want to walk back one of the comments I said earlier. I said that nobody cares about this movie, and there is actually one person who does care about this movie, and it's whoever did this transition.
Here you go.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I respect that. Unfortunately, I think that was the only scene they were allowed to care about, because like, look how bad the transition literally a minute later is.
Like I said, we need to focus on getting you back, so what would you...
Isn't that the most marvelous Christmas tree you've ever seen?
It's like painful. The green building right next to her is now further away and red. The whole thing seems weirdly out of focus. Well, remember how I said this movie was kind of filmed in Rhode Island? Well, that's because of moments like this. This is an actual place in Rhode Island, but she's not there. Because this shot, for some reason, is on a green screen. And I really don't know why, because they did film there. But for some reason, they only filmed like one scene, the Christmas tree lighting ceremony. Everything else in this movie was filmed in Buffalo. I legitimately think they used more footage pretending to be in Newport than they used actually in Newport. Like, look how fake them walking looks. How do you mess up walking? How are they calmly strolling, yet the background is whizzing by them? And they were there. They didn't need to fake any of this. And they tried to fake this scene later in the movie?
The sugar snow-covered fry bread is delicious.
Why didn't they just film there? I'll pull up a map. This is the spot where they did film. And this is the spot that they decided to use a green screen for. What are we doing? Even this scene you filmed later on. So did you just like forget to film it? Why is it done in post? I'm sorry, they hired a bunch of Rhode Island people to be extras in this movie and I didn't hear about this. So I think part of this is I'm just mad I missed out. But also this movie sucks. Anyways, back to the movie. The main problem Ella faces is that she needs to return home. As she starts staying longer in the future, she starts to disappear from the past.
This looks like Ella's portrait.
Yes, but notice something missing?
She's just completely disappeared from the painting. She's gone.
Now, Nick discovered that the Christmas comet was how Ella got here in the first place. And it's probably the only way to send her back.
I found this while you were out. The Christmas comet passes Earth's orbit in December every 20 years. But check this out. Look at the date in 1905.
December 18th.
December 18th.
That's the night you ended up on my boat.
And while that breakthrough is happening, let's check in on that side plot and see how it's going.
So,
What?
what are you doing when we finish up here today?
Nothing?
Something I actually wanted to ask you.
Nope, still no chemistry.
Well, if we only have a few days left together in the future, we should make the most of it.
Excuse me, miss? May we please have 2 Christmas cafe lattes with milked oats?
No, that's cool. I don't think she was speaking to the people that she was facing towards and talking towards. Excuse me, wench? Another hot cocoa at once! Now, the other big problem Ella faces is that, according to all the history books, she marries a dude named Rex. The problem being that she doesn't know anyone named Rex, and there's actually very little known about him in the history books. So she spends a lot of time trying to figure out who he is, and it makes Nick very jealous. And like throughout this movie, Nick has been down bad for this woman.
Perhaps you should put your heart's desire on one.
What my heart desires, it wouldn't work in this case.
What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Hands down, It's a Wonderful Life, which actually reminds me a lot of you. I mean, she's effervescent, she's hilarious, she's gorgeous, she's a bright light that fills every room and she makes every situation better. That felt really good.
And obviously Nick knows it would never work because she could never stay. Which, yeah, that makes complete sense. Until we meet Rex.
Here. On the right.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm sure. I never forget a face.
This is just a tad odd because this looks similar to the Coast Guard officer that you said looked familiar, Adam Waters.
Look, they're nearly identical.
Well, I'm going to pen a letter formally requesting his presence for tea. I'll send it by courier.
We also could just go to the marina, where he usually hangs out. Hey, Adam.
Yeah, that's clearly not a marina. That's not even like a little bit like a marina.
We were just coming to see you.
How do you do?
Ella Stewart.
Rex. Rex Grafton.
Rex makes it pretty clear, pretty fast, he has no intention of going back to 1905.
The night you disappeared, your father sent a courier asking me to set out to find you immediately. I couldn't have been more than an hour behind you, and that's when I saw it.
Then you ended up here.
Yes. At first, I didn't realize anything had happened, except that I was back on course to Newport. But when I got here, I discovered it was 2005.
And you've been stuck here ever since.
Okay, so I guess you just don't need the social security number?
You know, the Christmas comet next appears in 2 days. On Christmas Eve.
I'm so sorry. I have work to do. I'll see you out.
Go home? Fuck that. You know there's a world war in like 10 years. Ella is obviously pretty confused because history says that she marries Rex, while Rex says, fuck that, 1905 sucks. The next day, Ella goes and tries to convince Rex to go back with her, and it goes pretty much exactly how you'd expect it to.
I think I know how I can get you back.
Why would I want to do that? I have a life here. Why would I want to give all that up to go back to 1905?
You've decided to stay here. I think I should too. Wouldn't it be grand?
No.
What will you fight for? What will you love? If not me, if not this, then what?
Where did that come from? Like, I know it's a Hallmark movie and it was bound to happen. It's just like, this seemed like a pretty one-sided affair. I don't know. Despite all of that, Nick still tries to convince Rex to go back in time.
If you don't catch that portal and the comet passes by, you two are both stuck here for another 20 years.
Would that be so bad?
Yes. Adam or Rex or whoever you are, you have to go back with Ella.
We have no chemistry.
That's what I'm saying. I've been saying that the whole movie. I don't think it really matters in this one, though.
The one thing that bothers me is, why did Ella and I both see the same comet, but come out in different time periods? I think it's because we were both at different coordinates when we entered the portal.
Okay, now here's my problem with the comet. They established this comet is like a portal type thing, which that sort of explains how her and the boat got transported to the future, although it's still unclear how it made Nick's boat disappear. And I'm also going to disregard the fact that the comet which brought you forward in time, we're now expecting to bring you back in time. But there's a far more glaring issue. If the comet is a portal with a limited range, how did her diary end up in 2025? It was like 100 miles away. There's no reason it would have ended up in 2025. Did anyone think about that? No, because of course they didn't.
Do you remember the coordinates you found her at?
Yeah, it was 41 degrees longitude by minus 71 latitude.
Now I'm going to pause here again. Where on this map do you think those coordinates are? Don't think too long because you're wrong. It's Antarctica. In their defense, if you swap the coordinates around, it does lead to off the coast of Rhode Island. But not in their defense. You went through the effort of looking up what those coordinates are, but not the effort of making sure we're saying the right lines? Is there no script supervisor on this set? Now, if you don't know, a script supervisor's job is to make sure there's continuity throughout a movie. They're the person who's supposed to catch when an actor messes up a line, or when a shot is completely different than the previous one. I was genuinely convinced that they just didn't have one for this movie. Not just because of this mistake, but like all the ones I've covered so far. Like, I just can't imagine that they planned to film this scene on green screen when they were filming in that location earlier. But apparently, they did have a script supervisor. And look, I'm not advocating for Melanie to lose her job, but do I think maybe she should have to answer some questions? Yeah. You can't just seemingly do nothing and face no accountability when things turn out like shit. Like, who do you think you are? Congress? Jokes aside though, Melanie, you do gotta lock in because I think they should probably fire you. Anyways, Rex has a plan to get Ella home, but he's not going with her.
Look, I'll meet you both at the ball, and I'll make sure she gets off safe. But that's all I can promise. I'm not going back.
So on Christmas Eve, which is the night of the Christmas comet and the Christmas Eve ball, Ella is set to return home, but not before we wrap up that little side plot.
Oh, what's that one mean?
That you want to be kissed?
Nope, still nothing.
Get to go home.
Nick, when will you ever be home?
When I kissed you. That moment. I was home.
Whoa, okay, let's calm down. So she leaves to go back to 1905 by herself.
Father, I must speak with you.
In private?
Of course. Everybody, please, enjoy yourselves. What's happening here?
Hello everyone, do not pay attention to me. Now what is it you wanted to speak about? Now as we all expected, Nick shows up in 1905 and he is now Rex Grafton. Yes, Nick gives up his entire life to go back to 1905 and be with Ella, which might I remind you, he has known for a single week and is now engaged to. It's giving freshman at BYU. Oh, and of course, no Christmas movie would ever be complete without an extremely forced Merry Christmas.
You had me at Rex Grafton.
Merry Christmas, Ella.
Nice. I hated that movie, and I hate Hallmark for getting my hopes up. But you know who I don't hate? My patrons, whose names are on screen now. If you want to help support my channel, see bonus content, watch videos ad-free, or you just want to see your name on screen or on the wall behind me, consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/Jamie Regan. Oh, and Merry Christmas. Oh, I think the camera shut off on me. How do I fix this? I think I got Merry